You ever just wake up with nothing to do? Take a long look in the mirror and see that you got something to prove. And what makes you even stronger is you got nothing to lose. And every time you're angry, no, that's something to use. Get even with the pain, the emotion abuse. And it's tough to try to get up when you're down, when you're sunk in the ground, feeling like you'll never be found. But life has a funny way of working in twos. This is the part where you pick and you choose which cards you turn over, what pieces you move. The sun always shines in the morning, but the rain speaks the truth. So when you're down in the dirt and you feel like a fool, no, it's okay to weep, because you're releasing the truth. Letting the truth speak to you. And you may think, who am I, who am I? I'm just a regular guy. I got these regular thoughts, I got these regular eyes. Who are you? Who am I? I'm just a regular guy.
I was born on July 27th. That makes me a Leo. I don't really know what that means. I'm 5'6", I weigh 145 pounds, I don't know how to swim, and I'm a sucker for a girl with a nice smile and clean sneakers. I'm still learning how to whisper. I'm often loud in places where I should be quiet. I'm often quiet in places where I should be loud. I was born feet first, and I've been backwards ever since. I like ginger ale. A lot. I've been told that I give really bad hugs. People say it feels like I'm trying to escape. Sometimes it's because I am. Secretly, I get really nervous every time someone gets close enough to hear me breathe. I have this odd fascination with things like sandcastles and ice sculptures. I assume it's because I usually find myself dedicating time to things that will only last a few moments. That's also why I tend to fall in love with women who will never love me back. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually much easier than it seems, and to be honest, I think it's safer that way. See, relationships, they often remind me that I'm not afraid of heights or falling, but I'm scared of what's gonna happen the moment that my body hits the ground. I'm clumsy. Yesterday, I tripped over my self-esteem. I landed on my pride, and it shattered like an iPhone with a broken face. Now, I can't even tell who's trying to give me a compliment. I've never been in the military, but I have this purple heart. I got it from beating myself up over things I can't fix. I know this sounds weird, but sometimes I wonder what my bed sheets say about me when I'm not around. I wonder what the curtains would do if they found out about all the things I've done behind their backs. I've got a hamper that's overflowing with really, really loud mistakes and a graveyard in my closet. I'm afraid that if I let you see my skeletons, you'll grind my bones into powder and get high on my fault lines. Hi. My name is Rudy. I enjoy frozen yogurt, people watching, and laughing for absolutely no reason at all. But I don't allow myself to cry as often as I need to. I have solar power confidence. I have a battery-operated smile. My hobbies include editing my life story, hiding behind metaphors, and trying to convince my shadow that I'm someone worth following. I don't know much, but I do know this. I know heaven is full of music. I know God listens to my heartbeat on his iPod. It reminds him that we still got work to do. Thank you.
There was a little alley in San Francisco, back of the Southern Pacific Station at 3rd and Townsend, in red brick of drowsy, lazy afternoons with everybody at work in offices. In the air you feel the impending rush of their commuter frenzy. As soon they'll be charging en masse from Market and Sansom buildings on foot and in buses, and all well-dressed through working man Frisco of walk-up truck drivers. And even the poor grime-bemarked 3rd Street of lost bums, even Negroes so hopeless and long left east, and meanings of responsibility and try, that now all they do is stand there spitting in the broken glass, sometimes 50 in one afternoon against one wall at 3rd and Howard. It is all these Millbrae and San Carlos neat necktied producers and commuters of America and steel civilization rushing by with San Francisco Chronicles and green call bulletins, not even enough time to be disdainful. They've got to catch 130, 132, 134, 136, all the way up to 146, till the time of evening supper in homes of the railroad earth, when high in the sky the magic stars ride above the following hotshot freight trains.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful. But we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish.
When a boy tells you he loves you, it'll be the first time you hear this. It is late, and he isn't even there to tell you this in person, but instead, from a car ride home from a bar in Chicago, he is there on business. And of course you will smile, because he sounds like he means it, because you believe him, because a boy has never handed those words to you like crushed blackberries in the palms of his hands, firm, young, full, and waiting to taste sweet with you, his arms creeping binds, begging to touch the sun in your face, saying, here, take everything I have ever touched to be closer to you. His breath waiting to be folded into a love note passed in between the nape of your neck and his front teeth. He will remember the time you told him you felt safe in his mouth, and he will never grow hungry, just distant. That was when you learned that when a boy says, I love you, he means I am getting ready to be inconsistent with you now. This boy will tell you that he loves you. Not long after he had you waiting for 2 hours in front of a cocktail lounge. Patience is something you were working on, but no, not for him. When he asks you to tell him that you love him back, it'll be in a car, in the parking lot of a late-night diner. You will watch the words fall into your lap like a spilled glass of white wine. You will remember the day your courier pigeon heart got lost in the wind, because that was a message it did not know how or where to carry, and one by one the boys have fallen as silent as the birds. Do not crack your face into the fullest crescent moon at the tapered bottom of a blackened sky. He never meant a single word of any of it. He is just a boy, remember? Only a boy. Do you remember?
about you but still need to choke from your throat. Silence is a cloak draped over a body of lies. Will have the world thinking you are safe, whole, something worth listening to because everything is the truth once you believe it. Silence is not just deadly, but the weapon itself left at the scene of the crime used to distinguish and extinguish years of black mental health because black people do not have time for exhaustion. We will do our work, masses work, and still have time to be slaves to our own trauma. Silence is blinding. It is the reason I look for children the way no one looked for me. How no one heard my cries for help or cries to sleep. Impenetrable, how we cannot break through my depression. The consequences of silence will leave me lying in traffic on 42nd Street, believing the only imprint I will have on the world is what is left after the car stampede over my body is a drug. I was so strung out. No one knew I wished to die until I had a stomach full of pills, and when I woke up, still trapped on this bridge between heaven and hell, silence rendered me speechless. I had no song to sing. Silence was no apology, no thank you. My mother did not know how to welcome me to the world a second time. Pessimism is trying to kill myself. Optimism is living in spite of that. I am silence beaten into every part of my body. I exist in this constant state of rage with my hands don't know when my mouth can handle it. And so sometimes my tongue swings before my fists do, and vice versa. And sometimes they wild the fuck out at the same time. See, no one wants to be a victim out of love. They do it out of threat, of whip, of fist, of gun, shame. Silence does not make a victim out of me. The predators did. Silence means I never tell my mother I was molested because he is family, because he is bigger than me, because I should have known better. Silence means I do not tell my friends I was abused because she was a woman and she was not bigger than me and I should have known better. I say nothing because defending myself is seen as an attack to my attacker. I say nothing because doing nothing is seen as an attack on myself. I use silence for safety and they think me strong. Think I can take it because I have been witness to my own murder and still ain't said shit while I am teaching myself to spell out the letters of silence. The only undressing I have known has been in front of those who never deserve to see. Silence is not always a choice. It can be a protest. The thin line between danger and safety. Saying nothing does not mean everything is all right. Saying nothing means everything can be all wrong, but it doesn't make it any less real. Saying nothing means look at me, close and hard. My whole body is a language, and I am begging you to learn it.
I have something too.
Do you? Yeah.
If that's
What do you
cool.
have?
I brought nothing. Acquisition. Acquisition. Bin win. Making an incision with precision. Choice cuts, such that quality abuts filet mignon. Axe grip, tight as a pinion. And for women, dwarven stamina plus a low center of gravity is a win-win. Jim from Newhamp gets him too damp. He ends friends. He turns pals into pyres with his unfriendly fire. Heater than a fever, hemorrhagic. Hark, it's tragic. But that's what you're getting when he's spitting that dark, dark magic. Viari, a player, like Atari, shows that O face, that Van Gogh face, like when a night gets starry. If that's your girl, I'm sorry. And if that's your man, well, he don't give a damn. He came to party. Omnifus drawn, he of the limitless con. Ill syllabus, sicker than the liquor I'm on. I'm the ribald, fly scald with a vanity plate that says try bald. I give foes a trip to the mall. I flatten them. I turn gold into platinum. I'm reverent as a Latin hymn. With holy fire, I blacken them crisp. Nothing left but a wisp and a thick grease. I give the slip to a lord of the crypt like Lich Please. I could regale with the tale of another great mission, but it's late, and we must vacate this acquisition. Good night.
DMT, one of the things that has caused me to think that it might have a role in the chemistry of dreaming is that one of the frustrating things about it is you have this experience, without doubt the most bizarre, appalling, peculiar experience you could possibly have. That's at minute 2. At minute 5, you're raving about it. At minute 7, you can't remember it. And so it's literally like gold running through your fingers. You say, this is the most amazing thing. This is the most amazing thing. What am I talking about?
Advice for teenage girls with wild ambitions and trembling hearts. When Anne Frank was 13 years old, she disappeared behind a bookcase with her family and everything hunted, writing an ocean into a diary when they found her. She was treated as nothing more than a spark above a burning bush. Despite this, she still said, "I really believe people are good at heart." And when Joan of Arc was 14, she heard a voice calling her to greatness. When the doubters called her crazy, she did not listen, grabbed her sword, grabbed her shield in her 2 good hands. She was the maid of untamed patriotism, born to reunite a country like a broken heart. You don't need to grow up to find greatness. You are so much stronger than the world has ever even told you you could be. The world is waiting for you to set it on fire. Trust in yourself and burn.
'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogroves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the manxome foe he sought, so rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, The Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the Tugly wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, the vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy, O frabjous day, Callooh, Callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogroves, and the mome raths outgrabe.
I hate the endings that are grim and fatal. I love my life and everything I do. I hate all seasons of the year when I'm unable to sing my joy songs to all of you. I hate the bitter cynics, cold like ice, but pure excitement isn't any better. I hate it when a stranger's drifting eyes peer from behind to read my private letters. I hate any half-hearted fickle act, or when my conversations can't be frank, or when one shoots another in the back, or even worse, when it is done point blank. Or when the facts and gossip become blurred. I hate it when suspicions do not pass. I hate it when I'm rubbed against the fur, or when the metal scraped against the glass. I cannot stand both arrogance and pride. I'd rather have my brakes abruptly fail. It saddens me that honor's pushed aside, that slander hides behind an honest veil. When I see broken wings, I don't pretend to commiserate or pity one's demise. I hate both domination and surrender, though something moves me when I think of Christ. I hate it when I'm scared. I feel appalled when guiltless men are victimized and hit. I hate it when they climb into my soul, and when inside, I hate it when they spit. I hate the markets and the arenas filled with grime, where everything is cheapened in the trade. Perhaps a lot of this will change with time, but I will always hate the things I hate.